Hey, hello, it's me. Today it's another high quality content video where I'm going to be bringing you a tier list of all the HWMS teachers. By the way, before we get into the video, this video is probably going to get deleted. Just know if it does, it was my mom, not me, who did it. So I sorted these all out by what they teach. I don't know why it took me so long to say that, but what they teach, and then by grade level. So let's start just from the top, okay? So you got Miss Yates, the first teacher, sixth grade science. She was actually a pretty good teacher, okay? She was like probably the best teacher in sixth grade, so she gets an easy A tier. Then you got Mr. McGough, seventh grade science, and I'm gonna give him a B. A lot of kids probably would have put him in C or maybe even D, but I think he wasn't that bad in my opinion. And then next up, you got eighth grade science, Mr. Dean. Mr. Dean was one of those teachers that like you either liked him or you hated him. And I mean, I liked him, but I know for a fact that a lot of kids didn't. So I would put him in B, but just because of that, I'm gonna no, I can't do that. I like him. Okay, he's B. He's B. Then you got Miss Gonzalez, okay? Sixth grade math. And yeah, I mean, it's just a curse. Every math teacher that exists isn't really very good. So I'm gonna put her in D just because like she was good. She was a good teacher, but horrible with kids, if you know what I mean. And pretty much the exact same thing with Mr. Barnhart, except a little bit worse. But so he wouldn't go in F tier, but he is a contender for F tier. No, that's a lie. F tier is reserved for one specific teacher that I'm going to put on later on. You'll know who it is. You probably know who it is now, but you know. Next up, you got Miss Ivory. Miss Ivory is, I mean, she's one of those teachers that can be either good or bad. She was 6th and 8th grade Spanish. So she could be good or bad, so she gets a C tier. Then Miss Albright, pretty much the same, because like every Spanish teacher, both of these are Spanish teachers, by the way. Every Spanish teacher never gives us enough time to do work, so I'm gonna also put her in C tier. You're up to World Studies now. So, World Studies 6th grade, you got Mr. Furman. The only thing I remember about him is that he made me wash off my pink eyebrows. So he gets a C tier. Then you got Miss Zangrilli. This is a horrible picture, I know, but it was kind of limited searching up pictures of teachers on us. A lot of these pictures. Yeah, but anyway, what was really annoying about her class was that literally every single goddamn day she said, "This is my smallest class," and we're like, "Yeah, well, there's 22 people and 16 of them are boys. What do you expect?" So yeah, she gets a B or C, B and a half. I would say B and a half if that was actually actual tier, but I'm gonna I'm gonna put her in C just because. Yeah, okay. She could see. Mr. Saba is one of the best teachers I had in 8th grade. He taught 8th grade world studies, I think. Yeah, he did, except it was actually history. So I think he also deserves an A tier teacher. Next up, we got Miss McGee. I don't really know much about Miss McGee, except I literally didn't even have her as a teacher. I just had her for like homeroom twice. So that's how I know who she is. But like, the kids that had Miss McGee, it's like Mr. Dean. A lot of kids either liked her or hated her. So I'm gonna put her in C tier just because I mean my experience with her were good, but like that's not enough evidence just from my own self to know. Miss Fitch, 6th grade English, she was pretty good, I'd say. But a lot of kids didn't think she was pretty good. I probably would put her in A tier, but because I know a lot of kids didn't like her, I'm gonna give her a B. Miss Wolotska, easy S tier. 7th grade English, best teacher I had in middle school. Okay, that doesn't even need an explanation. She gave out homework passes. I mean, she did a lot other than that made her a good teacher, but she's an S tier, okay? Mr. Krakauer was our long-term sub for 6th grade English, and he actually wasn't that bad. Like, when we had him, and he said he would leave because Miss Wolotska was coming, because she took off, like, until October. No, she took off until, like, December because of maternity leave, but, like, this was our long-term sub when we had that, and he actually wasn't that terrible, so I'm going to give him an A. I could just as easily put him in B, but, you know, he's A because I didn't have him for that long. Miss Brown, 8th grade English, also S tier. Probably the second best teacher I had in middle school. She had a stuffed panda named Can that she murdered. So that's a little drawback. So no, she that doesn't do enough to put her into A tier. But you know, she was a great teacher. So yeah, Miss Hannington. This one's confusing because I didn't even have her for a teacher, but I just felt like I had to put her on here because she won Teacher of the Year in the entire like Montgomery County. But from my experiences, like just like when we had in the hallways or whatever, she wasn't a good teacher. Like I'm being brutally honest here. Like just from my experiences, she would be a C. But just because she won Teacher of the, you know what? No, that means nothing. She goes in C tier. Okay, I mean it does mean something, but not to the kids. To her, it means a lot. I know. But anyway, into the PE department, which is easily the worst department in the school. You got first up Mr. Finelli. Pretty much the entire PE department is good on some days and bad on others. Mr. Finelli, I'm going to be generous and give him a B because he's probably one of the better ones in the PE department. He could just as easily go in C, but I'm going to give him a B. Mr. Owen probably could go in D, but I'm going to give him a C because there were some days when he was pretty good. Miss Arnone, the best PE teacher by a wide margin. She gets an A, not even close best PE teacher. Now, you know how I said F was reserved for one teacher? If there was a teacher, no, I'd mess that up. If there's a tier below F, easy, she would be in it. Worst teacher in the entire school by a very wide margin, might I say. She was horrible in every conceivable way that there's a teacher. I don't know how she even got hired like that. No, it's just, oh my God. If you went to Hallie Wells, you know what I'm talking about. She was awful in every conceivable way. Next up, we got Mr. Augustine. I'm also going to give him a B. He's a little better than Mr. Finelli, actually. He's like pretty much the average B tier. Next up, you got Miss Marcoux. Ooh, okay. This is probably going to be a controversial decision, but Miss Marcoux is an S tier teacher. She was a good teacher, but the reason she's an S tier is because she taught health, okay? Health in 7th grade was the best class, not 7th grade. Was it 8th grade? I don't know. What was a good year? I don't know, but it was the best class in the school that one year. Mr. Dolan. This one's very complicated, okay? Mr. Dolan, in 6th grade, he was horrible. Horrible. In 6th grade, he probably would have gotten F tier. But that's really weird. Okay, anyway, next up, in like 7th and 8th grade, he got better and better like throughout the years went. And for that, I'm going to give him a screw it. He gets an S tier. Mr. Dolan is an S tier teacher, okay? Miss Thomas is oh yeah, by the way, all these people, actually, never mind. They are teachers. I was going to say all these people aren't teachers, but they are. Why did I put these in front? But anyway, Mr. Heller. I'm going to just skip these three for later. Mr. Heller, also known as James, is also a legend. If there was a tier above S tier, he would get it. Nah, but for real, I don't even really know anything about him. I didn't have him as a teacher. I just put him in because I wanted to say James. But he gets a B tier, okay? Next up, you got Mr. Doggett. I didn't have Mr. Doggett, but I never met a single student in the entire school who had him and didn't like him. So this is going to be really controversial, but he goes in A tier instead of S tier. But the only reason that he does is because I never actually had him as a teacher, okay? If I had him as a teacher, he would definitely go in S tier. Coming back to the three henchmen, Bilbeth and Barbara. First of all, okay. I'm just going to real quick put all of them in D because they're all pretty much the same person. They send people to the office for no goddamn reason, okay? By the way, it's my birthday. I don't know why I didn't say that until now, but yeah, it's November 7th. I don't know when I'm uploading this, but at the time I'm recording this, November 7th is my birthday. These don't even really need an explanation, okay? Just if you know them, you know that they deserve a D tier. Miss Reddington wasn't a bad teacher, but, she wasn't actually a teacher, so that's kind of a drawback. So just because she's not a teacher, she gets... Well, yeah, she wasn't bad, so I don't know if... I'm going to give her a B, okay? Next up, you got Luis. If there was a tier above S, Luis would go in it, okay? Luis is the best teacher in the school. Plot twist, he's not a teacher. He's the leader of security guard person-looking thing. Anyway, this has been my HWMS teachers tier list. I hope you didn't enjoy. But for this one's actually good, okay? I like this video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, but not any of my other videos, because usually I just say I hope you don't enjoy at the end of my videos. Horrible teacher in every freaking conceivable way. Good thing I didn't just say that, because I would have had to retake the whole thing. Anyway, that was enough of the video for you to understand. I don't know what I'm doing with this outro, but have a nice life, okay? Hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye.